Ellen Simmons here for the Rural Radio Network. We are talking about lung cancer awareness, which is during the month of November. And the Nebraska Cancer Coalition is working to increase awareness of the importance of lung cancer screening. So today we're joined by Leroy, a Nebraskan who was diagnosed with lung cancer. And just a quick statistic here, most lung cancers do not cause any symptoms until they've spread. Some people with the early lung cancer do have symptoms. So, Leroy, first tell me a little bit about your story and how you were diagnosed with lung cancer.
Um, Over as I got older, I kept on getting sick a lot. And it was coughing, sore throat. So I kept on going to the doctor, and they said, "Well, you have bronchitis." So they would give me antibiotics and steroids, and I would take those, and then I'd be fine, and I'd start feeling better, but never perfect. And then I'd go on, and then 3 to 4 months later, I started getting the same symptoms over and over again. So they did just x-rays and everything looked all right. And then finally it just got to where every 6 weeks or so, I started getting the same symptoms over and over again. So at that point, they thought that maybe they'd do a C scan. And at the beginning, they never really noticed anything. And then as time went on, it just never got better. And that's when they came up with the category of COPD, which is continuous bronchitis, emphysema. So then I saw a pulmonologist, and we started doing CAT scans every 6 months. And after about a year or so, there was a little spot that appeared. But it was just little spots. So, but we continued to follow up with every 6 months, we'd do another scan. And then 2 more scans later, all of a sudden the little dot on my lung started growing and started changing shape. So at that point in time, they did a biopsy and found out that it was in fact cancer. So then at that point, they set it up where they actually went through a CAT scan, and they actually took care of the cancer through 5 easy treatments.
Wow.
And as of late, they've been the cancer was gone. So, but I still go back every 3 months, once for my pulmonologist and once for the cancer doctors, to keep a check on it and make sure it's all very clean and good. So,
Okay. Well, let's talk about why it's important for people to know about the risks of lung cancer and how they can get screened.
yeah, as most people, when I was growing up, I started experimenting with smoking at a pretty young age, right after high school. And at that point in time, I could quit. And then 6 months later, I'd start again. And then it became harder and harder to quit. And then, which actually eventually led to the helping out with the bronchitis. So the thing about it is that everybody thinks it's not me. I'm not the one. I'm not going to be the one that has it. And some of the facts, if you look at that, Nebraska has some of the highest cancer rates in the country, and we're only 33rd in the country in people getting scanned.
Wow.
It's not difficult. The thing about it is people say, well, how do I know? If you have some of the symptoms that you're often sick, you cough a lot, easiest thing, you don't have to go see a specialist. Your regular doctor, who should have all your medical records. So he knows, he can track it. And if you've had these symptoms, it's as simple as you lay on a table and it takes about 5 minutes for them to scan you, and then you know. And in my case, 5 easy sessions, and it was gone.
Yeah.
So people just need to realize that it's not that difficult. And your doctor will tell you whether he thinks you need to have a C scan or whatever. So just makes sense that for as many people, and you don't have to smoke to get cancer. You can. I worked in factories that a lot of people got it, and a lot of people work in jobs. Like I was in hospitality. I was a chef for years. Well, you get a 15-minute break. So, and if you don't smoke, what do? And even if you do go out and smoke, or you don't smoke, you go out with people that do, you get secondhand smoke.
Sure.
And that can cause cancer just as well as smoking.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I think it's important that we get to tell your story.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else you need to know?
I don't think so, but if people want to find more information about lung cancer, and it's a confusing thing because it talks about how many packs, if you've met a certain amount of packs over so many years, and it's really confusing. So if you want to find more information, go to necancer.org/lung cancer. Well, thank you, Leroy. He is a Nebraskan who joined us today who was diagnosed with lung cancer. And we talked about how the Nebraska Cancer Coalition is working to increase awareness, the importance of lung cancer screening. I'm Ellen Simmons for the Rural Radio Network.